I know some of you probably came pretty far. This guy came from South Korea, so I don't know if anyone could beat him in the room. But so what is this session? I was asked to run this session just as a kind of get together and warm up and with each other. And for me, that means playing. So I'm Eric Zimmerman. I'm a game designer. I also am a professor at the NYU Game Center. And what I thought I would do this morning is we're just going to play some games together. They're going to be physical, social games that you will play with your body. Of course, totally optional. You don't have to play if you don't want to. These are games that I use to talk about game design and teach game design. And I've done that with kids. I do that with my undergraduate and graduate students. And I also do it with workshops that I do with professional designers, in classes and workshops and seminars around the world. So the stuff that we're doing today might be useful to you depending on your context that you're doing. I know it was advertised as a sort of rock, paper, scissors modification, but we really have about 20 minutes because we're going to be ending in time to go upstairs and see the main session that starts at 9:30. I don't want us all sort of coming in late to that in the middle of Susanna's opening remarks. So we'll be ending in plenty of time to go upstairs. And for that reason, I guess rather than like making this a structured workshop, we're just going to play and discuss and sort of do what I would do normally in a classroom. So also, I should just want to mention that a lot of these games come from the New Games movement, if anyone has heard of that, and Bernie DeKoven, who passed away a few years ago, but he was a huge inspiration and mentor for me, and he wrote a book called The Well-Played Game, which I would highly recommend. And of course, the books, New Games and More New Games, that were published in the 1970s. Okay, so if you want to play, and you can decide at any time, get up from your chairs. But if you're here, I hope that you're here to participate. So get up from your chairs. We're going to start with a simple game. We'll take a few steps forward. None of these games will require strenuous physical participation. And I should also say, if you're ever running a session like this, it definitely never force people to play. If play is not voluntary, it's not play. I don't know what it is. It's work, or it's like a labor camp or something, but it's not, it's a punishment, but it's not play. So people should always have the option to sit out. Sitting and watching is an excellent option. Chef's kiss to you. Or you can always think about how to modify or change games in a situation like this to make them more accessible for anybody that wants to play. So this first game is called Psychic Handshake. This is a game I learned from Bernie DeKoven. Here's how it works. I want you, and by the way, this game will require you to, is everyone comfortable shaking hands? Are we still in sort of like a germ? Is anyone, do we want to modify that? We could do an elbow bump or a fist bump. Is shaking hands okay? You tell me. Shaking hands is okay? All right, this will be a shaking hands game. I know some of us, like if you have I don't have young kids, but if you have young kids, in preschool or whatever, like it's a germ laboratory there. So then it might be. Anyway, in this situation, all right, shaking hands is okay. I want you to answer one question in your head. And that question is, are you a 1? Are you a 2? Or are you a 3? Don't tell anybody. Just think in your head. Decide for yourself. Are you a 1? Or a 2, or a 3. Everyone, have you figured that out? You've decided for yourself? Okay, this is how this game works. Peter, since I know you, let's demonstrate. So Peter, actually, who wants to demonstrate with Peter? Someone else can. Any volunteer? I will tell you what to do. You might know. Okay, Abhishek, come on out. So, all right, so in this game, you're going to wander around. You can't talk to each other. The only thing you can say is the greeting. Let's call it the official Games for Change greeting. What is it? What would we say to each other? What do we want to say? We're going to shake hands. What do we want to say? Anything? Any ideas? What's that? How's the game? I heard let's play. Any other? I like these are excellent. Any other ideas? Which one do we prefer? Anybody? Let's play. Okay, let's play. Both excellent. All right, let's play. So you will walk up to each other and say let's play. Okay. Now then you're going to shake hands, okay? Now, you're going to shake hands depending on the number that you are. Now, just for demonstration purposes, If you're number 1, you will shake once. If you're number 2, you will shake twice. And if you're number 3, you will shake 3 times. Okay? Ready? So let's say that you're both 2s. Okay, so go ahead. Let's say you're both 2. So say. Okay, great. But now, let's say that, for example, you're a 1 and you're a 3. So go ahead.
Let's play.
All right, so Peter's sort of, oh, you're grabbing on very tight. Okay, so, but you know, it might be like a early departure from the handshake, or yeah. So your goal, this is a cooperative game, is to find the others of your number. So you can only interact with people by walking up to them, saying, let's play, and shaking hands. And I'm going to give you just a few minutes, and your goal is to see if you can separate into your groups. Okay? So this is a collaborative game, a social game, sort of a puzzle-solving game. Any questions about what we're doing? Is this all clear? Okay, so ready? Let's go. Get started. All you can say is, let's play.
The tight shot. Perfect. Maybe later we'll put the camera there, but it's okay for now. Got it.
Where are you going?
Okay, we're going to go for about 30 more seconds. Get your final handshakes in. You want to be physically sorted with members of your group. Let's see if we can. Okay, I'm seeing very low handshakes happening. Let's see. Oh, wow. Have we? All right, so let's see now. Raise your hand if you are a 1, a 2, a 3. Wow, amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. Very nice job. Now, does anyone have any observations that you want to make about your experience of the game or the design of the game? Anything at all. There's no right or wrong here. Anyone want to make any observations? Yes?
Fantastic to see people's faces. Feel like the yes or the oh.
Right, yeah. It's a game full of like miniature moments of, there's a dramatic, it's full of drama, right? Little moments of drama. Are we going to connect or not connect with each other, right? And it's sort of satisfying when you get that connection. Yes.
I like how everyone kind of figured out who you go first, and after it, there'll be a pause, and not a go, and so you can communicate with each other after the fact that pause something.
Right. There's a lot of communication, even though, yeah, the game limits communication, but you're talking about communication during the handshake. There also is a lot of communication after the handshake too, right? A lot of gesturing and things like that. And other comments or observations, yeah.
I think the more handshakes you do, everyone's like ability becomes more precise. Like the 1s or 2s or 3s is more deliberate.
Ah, okay. So yeah, so you mean the 2s and the 3s? It's a different experience than the 1s.
Yeah, and by the end, like the 3s are very clearly 3s.
I see.
Everything's more mushy.
Right. So you became more fluent in the way that the game asks you to exchange information. Yeah, that's very interesting. so that there's a change over time in the game. Did I see another hand? Yeah.
You also start to notice when someone that you did a handshake with, that's your same number, smiles to another person, you go, I think that might be my number as well.
Right. Yeah. So there ends up being a lot of communication: where you're standing, who you're smiling with, what are your, what sort of that sort of group communication. There's other things going on. By the way, if you just came in, we're just ending up this game, and we're gonna do another one in just a moment. So. I really like this game on a lot of different levels. There's even more to talk about. I like it because if you think about it, it's a collaborative puzzle, right? And often we talk about how to design collaborative games or collaboration, but not in a way that's sort of like, let's just all, hold hands and feel good, right? This is really like, it's actually an interesting puzzle to solve that you're doing. And I love how it procedurally shuffles itself. Because you all decide in your heads, it's like you're shuffling the deck of cards. We could do it again, and it would be quite different. And in fact, there's even other interesting things, like what does it mean that you pick a 1? Are the 1s like, I don't know, are they the type A's, I'm number 1, or is it 2? We had 2 was the largest, right? Why? I don't know. Maybe we have a lot of, maybe that's like the middle bottle of wine on the shelf. I'm not a 3, I'm not a, so I think there's lots of ways to look at this game. Anything else? Any other observations? Anyone who wants to share? Again, there's no right or wrong. It's just opening it up. You do, right? Yeah, you feel a sense of belonging, right? Yeah. So, and actually that reminds me too. I also think this game is interesting because not only is the core mechanic about shaking hands and then not only is the core mechanic about shaking hands, but you also say something, right? And I actually think this game has very little content, but the let's play that we came up with as the greeting for each other, that made everybody smile right away, right? So it also makes you think that it's like if we said to each other, like, I don't know, welcome to my dungeon or something, right? Like it would be a different experience, right? So you also can think about how that little bit of content, sometimes in a fairly abstract game, that tiny bit of content becomes like, sort of it would be funny, right? But it would be a different kind of funny. It would be more like an ironic, humorous, snarky, maybe kind of game, as opposed to like, good morning, let's play, So that's all. There's a lot. Even in what I love about these games is that even in such a simple game, there's a lot to talk about. How it works, how it's structured, how it changes over time, how it shapes our behavior, how it generates a kind of a group feeling. Okay, so let's move on to some new games. Now, one of the things that I love to do in exercises like this is do variations of games, right? So for example, let's say that we were going to play the game tag, right? We're not going to play tag, standard tag. Tag is the game where someone is it, and they have to run and touch someone, and then the person that they touch becomes it, and they have to touch someone. What are some problems with tag? What are some problems with that game? With just the standard tag? Yeah. What's one?
Some people are faster than others.
Yeah.
Right?
So it definitely there's differences. Yeah. There's differences in mobility, for example. Yes. Some people have an advantage over others. Yeah. Right. So there's tag back style problems. Yes. It can become aggressive, right? Yeah, it can become aggressive. So there's anything else? Yeah. Tag could be good in some situations, but in a situation like this, it probably would not be good. But I want us to play a couple variations of tag that I think will be interesting for us to play. And so I'm gonna do. Let's see. The first one I'm gonna divide. This is gonna be. We'll see how this goes. This is a big group for these games, but I want to divide the room in half. So let's say you form a circle here, and this group form a circle here. And again, you're welcome to play or not play. You can also, once I explain what's going to happen, you can decide if you don't want to play or not. This game is called. You can put your stuff down if you want. Fox and Rabbits. And can you bring these over to the other group? Those 2 empty cups. And can you also give these to two people in your group? You're going to need your hands free for this game. So if you have stuff in your hands, if you're holding your coffee, you might want to put it down. Yes, okay. And I'm going to give you something heavy as well. I'm giving you my water bottle. I'm giving you my coffee thermos. Okay, so what is this game, Fox and Rabbit? So this is going to be really interesting. Everybody take a step forward. We want to get closer. Okay, this is good. Try and make it a nice even circle. Everyone take a step forward. If you're just coming in and you want to join us, we're about to start a new game, you can join the circle. So these are variations on tag. Come and join the circle if you want. The empty coffee cups are the rabbits. And actually, how do I want to do this? Yes, the empty coffee cups are the rabbits, and the heavy object, the thermos or the water bottle, is a fox. The fox travels around the circle by being passed left and right. So go ahead and pass it. Just pass that. Yeah, left and right. So this is how the fox travels around the circle. And the goal for the fox is to touch a rabbit. So the goal, it can go back and forth. It does not have to go in the same direction. It can pause in the middle. So the goal for the fox is to catch the rabbit. The rabbits are the coffee cups. Sorry, I was improvising this morning with materials, so I was deciding what we're going to do. So if you have a fox next to, so right now pass the fox so it's up next to one of the rabbits. Go ahead and pass it, person to person. Okay, and then touch that person, and then, okay, so then that's caught. So that's what the fox wants to do. The fox wants to catch a rabbit by, where's the fox over here? So yes, so you've just really touch the person, and they're caught. The rabbits want to stay away from the fox. So the rabbits are trying to get away. The rabbits, however, can move around. They can jump. So the rabbits you can toss to anyone in the circle. So go ahead. So let's try tossing a rabbit, right? If you drop the rabbit, you have to pick it up. But the rabbits can move around the circle by jumping, okay? So how does the game work? And if a lid comes off, put the lid back on. I think it helps them to travel faster. Okay, so all right, I think this is going to work. Well, yeah, sure. I guess so. Yeah. Okay. So all right. So this group is already starting. So how does the game work? I think you have the idea. All you are doing are moving the fox and the rabbits around. The fox wants to catch a rabbit by being next to a rabbit and touching that person, and the rabbits want to jump and get away as best they can. Any questions about what we're doing? Let's go. All right, play. Oh, wait, question. Yeah, questions are great. Let's figure that out. Go ahead and play. Great question. When you catch the rabbit, just toss the rabbit away and start again. The game keeps going. Yes. Okay. Yes, we have a capture there. Okay. So then, now just toss the rabbits away and start again. Toss the rabbits away and start again. Oh, all right. I think we've eaten a rabbit over here. So toss the rabbit and just keep going. Yeah.
Until you're the fox.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Let's pause for a second. I just looked at the time. We're having so much fun playing. First of all, give yourselves a round of applause. Very nice job. Does anyone have any quick observations you want to make about this game? Any quick observations? I heard some discussion here about identity, yes. Yeah, it's funny, right? So how many of you felt like you sort of picked a side or you had someone that you were rooting for? How many of you felt like, no, you were just like doing whatever you needed to do in the moment? Okay, yeah, so it's interesting. I think one of the brilliant things about this game, and I learned this game recently through an organization called Boshi's Place that's out in Brooklyn that does a lot of games like this, that it really plays with the competition of the chase and tag, right? Because normally you're on a team and you do have to sort of, oh, where did she go? Anyway, but as she was saying, you sort of pick a side. But in this game, you're sort of playing both. It's almost like you're all the puppeteers for these individual characters. And again, I love the way it is competitive and there is a winning condition, but it's not really clear who won and who lost for you as a person, right? So it's kind of an interesting, and there's lots of drama, right? You can hear that. As soon as you started playing, I was hearing the, oh, oh, yes, oh, no, right? So, and also people helping each other, giving suggestions, right? So there's a lot going on. Any other observations anyone wants to make? Yes.
The rabbit was a lot harder to catch because you had the advantage of throwing it, but because the fox was a black cup, they blended in with people.
So you had a camouflage fox. This fox was bright orange. So interesting. Yeah, so even small changes in the materials can make a difference as well. That's a really interesting observation. Yes? So you had a rabbit suicide. Yes. Yeah, so it is interesting, right? So it's wonderful because unlike the previous game, this actually is a sort of a fast action game, and you can sort of play intuitively, and sometimes it feels like one of these things, right? Like doing two things at once. So it has this sort of pleasurable confusion a little bit sometimes. Anyone else? Okay. All right, we're gonna play. I think we have time for one more game. Morning went so fast. I want to do, and then we'll go upstairs for the session to start. This is a really special game. I want to do another variation of tag so we can get a sense of it. It's called 1v1 tag, 1 versus 1 tag. I was also told they're starting a few minutes late upstairs, so we'll be fine. 1v1 tag. I want you to pick a partner. Maybe you know the person, maybe you don't know the person. If you need a partner, raise your hand. Anyone not have a partner? Raise your hand high, okay. Raise your hand, these two. Does everyone have a partner who wants to play? Everyone have a partner? This is a really fun game. I really encourage you to play. Does everyone have, everybody needs exactly one partner. If people are without a partner, I will be your partner. Otherwise, I will watch. Okay, so here's how 1v1 tag works. This also has a handshaking mechanic. In this game, this is a walking game. You cannot run. Do not run. If you bump into somebody, anybody, not your partner, anybody at all, if you bump into them, if you even touch them a little bit, here's what you need to do. If let's say I'm walking, I need to stop and say, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm sorry I bumped into you. We both have to say it. Ready? Excuse me, I'm sorry I bumped into you. Okay. Well, I'll make it simple. What was the first thing I said? Excuse me, I'm sorry I bumped into you. Excuse me, I'm sorry I bumped into you. Let's practice that. Practice with your partner. Ready? Excuse me, I'm sorry I bumped into you. Okay, but you're not going to be saying that to your partner because one of you is going to start off as it, and all you're going to be trying to do is to tag the other person in the room. So when we start, one of you who's going to be it, the other one, that person will count to 10, and then it's just going to be normal tag in the room. You can't run, you must walk. If you bump into someone, you have to stop, shake hands, apologize to that person. Excuse me, I'm sorry I bumped into you. If you tag your partner, then your partner becomes it. They count to 10, and then they're after you. So you're just going to go back and forth. Does this make sense? So it's a simple game of 1v1 tag. It's only you versus your partner. But if you bump into someone, you need to stop and apologize. And are there any questions about what we're doing? So, right. So one of you is it. If you're it, raise your hand. If you're starting as it, raise your hand. So when I say go, if you are not it, you will probably try and get away from that person. And if you are it, you're going to count to 10. The person who is it will count to 10 and then go after. And then if you tag, I might have said it backwards before. If you get tagged, you switch roles, count to 10, and then go after again. Does that make sense? Okay, are we ready? Because once we start, it's going to be very chaotic. Go. You're just walking.
All right, I'll give you 10 seconds. Go.
Remember, if you bump into someone, you have to stop, shake their hand, apologize. Okay, we're going to play for 30 more seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we did it. Very good job. Now, we need to end this session and go upstairs, but I just want to say, for me, this game just is incredibly fun. I actually have never, I also was taught this game recently. I didn't design this game, but I've never played a playground game that gives you the feeling of like being in a stealth, hiding in the crowd, trying to observe people, right? There's something like wonderfully tactile about it. But again, it's a gentle game. It's competitive, but it feels collaborative. And I love the way with a big group like this, everybody who's not you and your partner becomes the level, basically, the terrain, right, that you're navigating around. You're either trying to hide in it. And I love the way it even reverses some of the things we said about tag. Normal tag, if you have long limbs, you can run farther, you can tag farther. And this being big and tall is a problem, right? Because I can see you across the room. So it's it even reverses some of the inequalities that we talked about with tag. Spy Party, right? Yeah, it has a feeling of being almost like being in some kind of social situation where you're trying to interact with people in a certain way. We have to end here. I just want to thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for playing this morning. And yeah, I use these games as warm-up activities. We play them, we talk about them, we deconstruct them, and we modify them, and that's part of the way that I teach game design. So thank you for joining us this morning. And if you have more feedback or anything, yeah, feel free to grab me during the conference. But session over.